Hello! Welcome everybody to Taylor Talks Comics Live. Thank you for joining me. Got a big show today. I got lots of news to cover. My tabs are all open. We're ready to go. Lots of comic book news to cover today. All right, let's start with, where do I want to start? How about Paul Pope? This is exciting. I haven't seen anybody talk about this yet. But Paul Pope, one of my favorite artists, who's done a lot of cool things. A lot of cool comics. He did Batman Year 100. He did 100%. But where he really cut his teeth on was THB. And we are finally getting a collection, a 3-volume set of THB. And we also have a listing for when Volume 2 will come out. All right, so this is Paul Pope's Total THB Volume 1. This will be published by Macmillan Publishing, which is the publisher of Battling Boy and some of Paul Pope's other titles. So this will be 208 pages, and it comes out the day after my birthday. How exciting is that? Perfect time for Taylor's birthday. $24.99 for a 208-page trade paperback. And I've never read this before. I was late to the game with THB. It's one of those indie comics that I always heard was like, you have to try out THB. But I could never find the single issues that were always like super overpriced whenever I see them. And I went and sought out everything else Paul Pope's done and read it. But THB has been, I've not been given a chance to read it. So over 30 years since its debut, the world of THB continues to inspire loyal readership and critical acclaim. Now, for the first time, New York Times bestselling author and Eisner Award winner Paul Pope's sprawling self-published vision is gathered in 3 definitive editions featuring remastered art and exclusive new material. So that's the cover for Volume 1, and it'll be out November 11th. And then Volume 2, Macmillan has a listing for this one as well. No cover yet, but this will come out in June of 2026. So I surmise that we'll maybe get a Volume 3 in November of 2026 and have all 3 volumes out within a year of each other. That's just my guess. But regardless, we'll have 2 volumes at least out within the next year, next 10 months or so. And this will be 224 pages will be the Volume 2 and also be $24.99. And like I said, it'll be a 3-volume set. So that's super exciting. Any Paul Pope or THB fans in the house? Anybody read THB back in the day? Those had really cool covers too. Like the whole overall package of the comic books looked really awesome to me. And I always wanted to track it down in singles, but again, like it was always overpriced because of the rarity, the scarcity of it, because they're self-published. But I do hope that all the covers from that are included in there. I don't want anything missing. I know it says it's remastered artwork and things, but this news is really exciting. Thank you, Badger Stump. I know Paul Pope, never heard of this. I posted the listing on March 31. I win. Oh, well, there you go. Which, by the way, everyone, please subscribe if you're watching this. Give the video a thumbs up. Everyone in the chat, please give the video a thumbs up. And comment down below if you're watching this. Some other comic book news. Let's get to Magnetic Press has a new Kickstarter that just launched, and it looks super awesome. But this one is called Shin Zero, a graphic novel for the Rent-a-Sentai generation. Sentai never die, but they might not always get 5-star ratings. Enter the world of Shin Zero and Age of Uber Heroes. So this will be a 3-volume set, I believe. It definitely is not just the only 1 volume. But look at this artwork, though. Like, this looks awesome. So you have, like, Sentai. It's totally in the tokusatsu genre. You have Sentai fighting giant kaiju monsters. And Magnetic Press does an incredible job with their book design and things. So it's 2 decades after the final kaiju fell beneath a thunderous blaze of Technicolor justice. The Sentai dream was dimmed. No more dazzling battles or stadium-sized glory, just a generation of ex-hopefuls, including 5 young heroes sharing a rundown flat and side gigs that barely cover rent. Once they're trained to save the world. Now they guard nightclubs, fetch coffee, and navigate an economy that has monetized heroism into a hustle. With the combined award-winning genius of Matthew Bablet and Guillermo Shinglin. Oh, Matthew Bablet of Midnight Order. I showed off Midnight Order last week. That makes me even more excited for this. But Matthew Bablet and Guillermo Shinglin. Sorry, I probably butchered that. I'm trying to pronounce it correctly. Let me know in the chat if you know the correct pronunciation of that name. Shin Zero blends lush art, poignant humor, and emotional depth into a story that feels both timeless and current. Punchy, melancholic, and undeniably human. It is a dazzling dive into nostalgia and survival. Tokusatsu reimagined for a generation still waiting to transform. And here's some more interior art. I do love the colors treatment, the artwork. I love it all. Here's the characters too. You have Warren, the green one. So you have like very much, if you're familiar with the tokusatsu genre of like Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider. So here's the different editions you can get. You get a soft cover edition. It'll be 6.5 by 9 inches. Black and white with spot colors throughout. Cover features silver foil and elements in French flaps. And it'll be available in bookstores. So they're very upfront about that. This Kickstarter, you get a bunch of extra cool stuff with it, but it will be released in the direct market and bookstores. $25 for the paperback. Or you can shell out money for the limited edition hardcover, which has curved corners in the tradition of magnetic press. This edition will not be available in bookstores. So if you want the hardcover, it will not be in bookstores. I do love, too, if you can see the spine there. So look at the top of the spine where there's a logo, and then right below it says 1/3, and it has like it's like three lines of an arrow, 3 chevrons, and the first one's colored in. So you assume that volume 2 will have like 2 colored in, and volume 3 will have 3 colored in. A cool little way to mark the volume numbers there. This will be $39.99 or $39, sorry, for the exclusive hardcover edition. And then the ultra limited hardcover slipcase edition with the numbered book plate will be $69. Other stuff coming out. Let's go to Image Comics. How about that? This is a reprint, but getting a wider release. This was done through Kickstarter originally, but the groundbreaking Eisner award-winning All-Negro Comics remastered paperback features all new content, hits the shelves in November. We previously talked about this on the Near Make edition. Dama Vex and I over there do the non-Big Two show, where once a month we go through all the solicits for a few months ahead of solicits of all the publishers like Image, Fantagraphics, Boom, IDW, Dark Horse, all the non-Big Two publishers that they cover on comicreleases.com. So we did talk about this, but I just want to make a point to point it out here to you guys. So this is a new edition. You can see it has the seal on it that has the Eisner award-winning seal on it, which I love. That's like a classic thing that whenever you'd like, when you're a kid and you would get a book from the library that says like Newbery Award winner. So I like that little touch on there. But this is the first book created by African Americans for African Americans. It features essays, comics, and prose from Eisner Award winner Dr. Kiana Whitted, David Brothers, Micah Peters. Trying to see what comics it. It's the first Black comic book. It's curated by writer-editor Chris Robinson and hits shelves in paperback this November. So that's super cool. Is that the date on it? November 4th. About a week before my birthday. And then another thing from Image Comics is Good as Dead #1. A new David Lapham comic. I know we've been talking about David Lapham here last few weeks with the hero trade that I've been showing off. David Lapham, one of my favorite artists for sure. This will be by David and Maria Lapham, who Maria is David's wife and frequent collaborator with him in the more recent years. So they're co-writing it. The artists are David Lapham and Dee Cuniff. I think Dee is the colorist because this will be in color. But this will be the series premiere, and the first issue comes out September 17th. For fans of Stillwater and That Texas Blood, the Emissary Bridge has been connected to the citizens of Port Linden. Has connected the citizens of Port Linden to hope and opportunity. But when one man shockingly sets himself on fire, the bridge now brings something else to the town: certain death. So yeah, there's the cover for it. I just want to point that out because David Lapham's awesome, and we like to tout his work. And then a couple different things here for DC Comics. And then so these were changes in the catalog solicitation. I believe I talked about these on my Breaking News DC video that I did, but these were changes. So originally, the Swamp Thing by Ram V and Mike Perkins was a deluxe edition. Now it's getting the Omnibus treatment. Now, there were people that were mad about this because the contents didn't change, the trim size didn't change, nothing changed except for the price was doubled, and now it's listed as an Omnibus. Even the cover to the right says deluxe edition. But I do want to point out that we saw that pop up in the catalog, but that doesn't mean that was like the official solicitation. Those things start to pop up in the catalog before the publisher really is like, well, they're still prepping things for the official solicitation. So nothing in there is final. We've had times where omnibuses were listed at $25. We have had times where, I don't know, books said they had like 1,400 pages when it's really 400 pages until they're finalized. Now, they do have the placeholder image that still says deluxe edition, which is unfortunate. Probably not the best look when people are mad about this, but this is the most recent Swamp Thing run by Ram V and Mike Perkins. This will include Future State Swamp Thing 1 and 2, Legend of Swamp Thing Halloween Spectacular 1, the Swamp Thing 1 through 16, Poison Ivy, Swamp Thing Feral Trees 1. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, about 20 issues, 560 pages for $100. And this is like our 6th Swamp Thing omnibus, I believe. Because we've had the Bronze Age, we've had the Nancy Collins, the Mark Miller, and the New 52. 5th. I think this is our 5th Swamp Thing omnibus. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. And then another change was to the Animal Man compendium. It is now the Animal Man omnibus. So this is getting a change, not just in price, but in format. Because this will be oversized now, not trade paperback. Not standard size, and instead of trade paperback, it'll be a hardcover, just like your traditional omnibuses. Now, I thought they were going for the compendium treatment because they just recently did a Animal Man compendium covering Grant Morrison's run, Grant Morrison and Chaz Truog run. So I thought they were matching up with that, but no, they're doing the omnibus, and this will be the Tom Veitch, Steve Dillon omnibus on the title, but also has work by Chaz Truog, Steve Pugh, Jeff Isherwood. $100 for 640 pages, due out in April of 2026. And it says it collects volume Animal Man 27 through 50, plus Suicide Squad 58 and War of Gods number 3. Now, the whole Animal Man run, the original run, lasted 89 issues. Grant Morrison did the first 26 issues with Chaz Truog, and then a bunch of different people took over after that. Tom Veitch was one of the main creators on it. But I think Peter Milligan even did some stuff in there. But issues 81 through 89 were never collected. They were doing these thick trades for this run, but 81 through 89 were never collected. So I'm hoping that this is their way of doing that. If we're getting about 23-ish issues of the run here, we had a 26-issue run omnibus for Morrison. We need 49 issues to complete the run, 49 more issues. So I'm assuming maybe 2 more omnibus volumes, perhaps. What do you guys think about all that? I do have a Discord. Thank you, James. If you want to go over there and chat comics with us, that link is all down below in the description of this video. And also, James just shared it just then. I think that's all the plugs. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Taylor Talks Comics. Everyone have a good one. See you guys later. See you next week on Wednesday live at noon Eastern and all throughout the week on my pre-recorded content. Keep talking comics.